Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I appreciate you tuning into my YouTube channel. I am talking to you today about a topic that I think will really set a lot of people free in their mindsets, in their belief systems, and in their understanding. We do what we can with what we have. And so if we don't have the appropriate understanding or outlook, perspective, um, true unity with something, then we're limited in the effectiveness of whatever that thing is going to bring to our lives. So for example, um, um, if I understand the principles or the basics of how mathematics work, I can use that basic knowledge, that understanding for certain things, right? But it will limit what I'm able to do on my own. It will limit, for example, my knowledge of geometry. It doesn't mean, okay, if I understand what a right angle is, that doesn't mean that I'm equipped to be an architect, okay? So in other words, our understanding needs to grow, our knowledge in something, and the way that we embrace it, the unity in which we accept it into ourselves needs to change if we want to move to another level or progress in a certain area. And I want to talk to you about how the way that you approach things casually is becoming your casualty. Okay. If you approach something, I don't care what it is, your family, your court case, your job, your business, casually, if it's something that is familiar to you, but you're not passionate about it, if it is something that is in your, it's on your schedule, it's in your calendar, you go and do that thing, but you are not passionate about it, you are not disciplined with it, you are not growing in an area, meaning you have a mentor, you have a system in place of some kind, you're taking classes, whatever it is that you're doing to improve that thing, it's becoming a casualty. Okay. It's the reason that thing is dying. It's the reason that thing is not flourishing. And so many people are leaving dreams, harvests of seeds that you are meant to collect and bring into the storehouse so that you can have more than enough in a time of famine. You're leaving these things on the table because you approach it casually. Okay, I hear this all the time, especially in religious, church-based, faith-based organizations. Oh, well, if the Lord wants it to happen, if God wants it to happen, it'll be so. Not understanding that casualness towards the thing that they're speaking about is the reason that thing is not growing, and in fact, it's dying. I've talked about this before on my YouTube channel. It's a myth. It's a myth if you think I'm neutral on something, right? It's a myth to think I'm not growing and I'm not really digressing. I'm just kind of sitting in the middle. You're not. It's a myth. You're doing one or the other. And I'm going to get into what that looks like in just a little bit. But you're either doing one or the other. And it's important that you have a right assessment of which one of those it's doing, right? Because if you want the thing to die, if you want that thing to not be part of your life anymore, if you want to break that habit, you want to break that cycle, you want to end that relationship, you want to stop doing certain habits, you want to change your mindset, you want to stop doing toxic rumination, whatever it is that you want to stop doing, you need to know, hey, that thing is on the path towards death. It's about to die. It's about to end. That thing is not going to exist anymore, right? But that doesn't just happen because we want it to, right? Oh, yep, I'm done with that. I'm going to end that thing. That thing isn't going anywhere unless you put a stop to it. And the way that we put a stop to it is by ending a cycle, rewriting a cycle in the way that we want it to be written. Energy cannot be dissolved, right? It doesn't just like go nowhere. It is transferred. It goes into something else. And if we don't understand how to use that same momentum, that same energy that was coming against us or working against us in some way for our benefit, then we often keep cycles that we want to die. We keep them alive because of that, simply because we don't understand the way that the laws of physics, right? Which, by the way, everything is birthed in the spirit. And so if you don't understand that in the natural realm, you will never understand that in the spirit realm, because how could you understand something that you can see with something towards something you can't see? Okay, so number one, understand that like the thing isn't going to die just because you don't want it to. However, you approach that thing casually. Oh yeah, every now and again I read a book. Every now and again I take business development classes. Every now and again I go on date nights with my spouse. Every now and again I have a conversation with my child or whatever. If you think that's enough to nurture that relationship, develop that business idea, cause you to grow in ways that you have never seen before, you're mistaken. You have to put the energy towards the thing that you want it to do. Um, Now, really quick, let me just pause on this and say, not all the time, not all the time, what we think it should look like in order to make something grow, in order to make something flourish, does it need to go that path. So for example, if I go to the gym and I lift really hard, guess what? I need a recovery day. Okay? That looks like me not going to the gym. That looks like me taking a walk or stretching or seeing my chiropractor or getting a massage or whatever. Okay? My recovery is part of my growth. And if I think growth only looks like when I'm lifting super heavy, when I'm sweating, when I'm exhausted at the end of the day, when I've used all of my physical muscles, if I think that's what growing is, guess what? Guess what? I'm actually causing the opposite thing to happen. I'm causing it to be a casualty. Okay? That's a really good way to get injured. It's a really good way to not allow your muscles to recover, so your muscles actually end up eating themselves. So your casualness towards whatever it is that you're talking about, whatever it is you're thinking about, whatever it is that you think you know about, could be causing your casualty. If I'm uneducated about the way the body works, about the way muscles recover, about the way my body is supposed to work for me, if I'm uneducated about that, then I just know what I see. Hey, hard work in the gym is apparently what grows muscles. That's half the truth. If I don't know that the other half of the truth is the way that I feed my body, the recovery time I give my body, the way that I allow mobility for my body, so stretching, okay? If I don't understand that there's another component to it, my ignorance is causing the casualty of the thing I want to grow. You cannot be casual about anything that you want to grow or die. Okay? There's this middle ground, I'm telling you, is causing so many people to not hit their goals, to not hit their success level in this season that they need in order to progress to the next level in the next season. Often this is just because they're casual when it comes to actually growing in that area, or stopping something, right? Which is really just growing, because you have to replace a cycle. Again, energy just doesn't stop. You have to learn how to use that energy into something that you want to have happen in order to see growth, okay? And in order to see one thing grow, something else has to die. In order to see something die, something else has to grow. I can't just decide to myself, I'm going to stop toxic rumination today. When I try to just stop that energy, it puts me in this very frustrated place. Well, I know I need to stop doing that. I keep telling myself I need to stop doing that. I try to think about something else and it just doesn't work. Okay, it's because that middle ground, I know a little bit of I need to stop doing something, right? But I don't understand the way that the laws of physics, right? So I don't understand the natural law of physics. How am I going to understand the spiritual reality that's happening behind the scenes? And how am I going to now know, hey, that cycle isn't going to end until I replace it with something else? Stopping toxic rumination isn't enough. I actually need to know, what am I going to replace it with? Because I have for so long developed this momentum, developed this energy, developed this way of thinking and talking to myself. How am I going to use that energy into building something that I want? Because it's not enough that that thing ends. I actually want to have the opposite of that. I want to tell myself that I am a good problem solver. I can think through things. I have a solution to any problem that I face. I'm more than enough for the situation that I'm facing. I am totally equipped to go into whatever this next phase of my life holds. I need to know those things, but I can only know them with how much energy is behind them, with how much investment I have had. If I know that to be true, guess what? I've put a lot of effort into establishing that as not just a thought system, but also a behavioral system in my life. What does that look like? It means I've got a mentor, I've hired a coach, I've taken courses, I've read a bunch of books, I've immersed myself and submersed myself in the environment that I am seeking to take onto myself. Okay? That's how you start developing that. When you think it's just this casual area of like, oh, it'll come, yeah, I'm growing, I'm learning, oh, it's just step by step. Yeah, okay, but make sure it is step by step. It's true that you cannot do all of the things all at one time. You need to develop your skill set. You need to develop your personal capacity for whatever it is that you're seeking after. You want to change, you want to establish, whatever. That is true. But if you don't have a plan for how to do that step by step, that is part of the reason that you still stay in this middle ground year after year, living the same life year after year. You're not meant to do that. Please listen to what I'm saying. Your casualness, the way you're casually approaching these topics, is the reason that thing is a casualty in your life. It's the reason you can't get out of debt. It's the reason that you don't have any healthy friendships. It's the reason that you keep toxic ruminating. It's the reason why you keep attracting the same spirit in a different body. You're not willing to actually take that thing seriously and start investing in it to make that thing not only not happen again, but something equally and opposite growing in its place. Okay? So I really hope this video helps you guys. This is such an important topic. A lot of people would be farther along in their purpose, in their identity, in their growth, in their family, in every area of their life, if they understood that it's their casualness. It's the way that they're casually approaching a topic. It needs to grow deeper. That passion needs to burn deeper, okay, in order to see a real change. So I hope this video has helped you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel below and then turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.